This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
It's been a while since we had her on the show. Tara Talmadge joining us here. And I think now, since I think the last time we had Tara, she was with a different media organization. Now with Hogs Plus and hosting That's the Tea, along with Talia Brooks. Really a cool new podcast they started a few months ago that I've listened a couple times to. Tara, good to have you on Halftime today. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on again. Yeah, I feel like it's just been too long. You know, we haven't caught up, so there's a lot to go over.
That's right. There is a lot to go over. We've been talking football pretty much for the entirety of the show, and we can start there. Odd times, around the football program. We don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. It's you talk about foundations of a program and anything going on inside the locker room, inside the coach's offices. I don't think anybody that is here really knows what's going on with that. But from the outside, we're left to just sort of wonder, what do you think in the next two games? Is Sam Pittman coaching for his job, or do you think that he's going to be safe as long as you beat FIU and have a good showing against Mizzou?
Yeah, I think as long as you do well against FIU this weekend. I mean, Arkansas is like a 28, 29-point favorite or something in this game. So I don't think that he's entirely coaching for his job or anything. I think that this team loves him. I think the staff loves him. I understand why people are upset, but I also want to remind everyone just what he's done for the program in general. Like, he helped this program so much, and people easily forget how much he's brought to this program, to this state. And so I'm hoping that he sticks around for a while. That's just my opinion. I think that the next couple of weeks, obviously, you're not playing for a bowl game, but the team is still in this. They know that they just want to, this is for pride. They want to finish on a high note. They don't want to go down and just go into the next couple of games with their heads thinking. They want to go out there and put out a good showing. And I hope that there's some fans that show up for them in the next two games as well.
Tara, hey, Matt Jones here. I agree with you. We were 20-game winless streak in the SEC before Coach Pittman got here. He's definitely made the program better than what it was. That being said, you got to evaluate every position on this football team. You got to evaluate all these coaches. We've had a little bit of a changeover last year with the OC and DC and strength coach. You've already had the OC go this year. Where do we need to get better at? If you're saying, hey, let's have some hope these last two games, where is it? Where do you see it coming from?
I think for starters, what Pittman said recently is that he just wants to see the fight from his guys. He wants to see them go out there, and he didn't really see it in the last game, that they were on the sidelines and just they didn't have that fire to them. And so they need that. They need that fight in them in the next couple of games. I think that's really key. But also, I think the offensive line obviously is an issue. So if you're talking about going into the next season, that is an area that definitely needs to improve. And I don't know if that's you got to go into the portal and get some guys or what, but that is an area that needs some help.
We have an athletics department, Tara, that just succeeds in virtually every sport, with a consistent level too, and just trying to get football to that level. And it was there a couple of years ago with 9 wins, and man, it was celebrated. The athletic department's at a place that anybody else in the country would love to be at. But now football, the last couple of years, there's been a slump since the hot start to last season. Why do you think Arkansas can keep baseball, basketball, track, soccer? Soccer's hopefully going to make it to the College Cup for the first time. Why can they be at such a high level consistently, but yet football scratches and claws and sometimes has trouble hanging around mediocrity?
That's such a good question, because I think we've all asked ourselves that. And truthfully, I don't know the full answer, but I think that Arkansas is not lacking in what they put into that program. You know, they have the facilities, they have the money and the funds to get things done. So I don't know why it hasn't gotten to the level that I know fans want it to get to. But I do know that, Hunter Yurachek's doing everything he can to get that program as high as it can go. So I'm not sure what the magical answer is for that. If I did, I think they'd hire me, right? You know?
Yeah. Well, they did to tell stories on Hogs
Yes,
Plus.
different than somebody on staff for the team, right? You know?
Right. But you got all these other positive stories to talk about, and there's individual stories within the football team too that are positive. It's just it changes the job a little bit when a season doesn't go in a direction that you or the university hoped it would. It's like difficult to generate some of those stories because Hogs Plus does come from a certain perspective.
Absolutely. And it can be frustrating, obviously, for fans, you know, because we're not trying to sugarcoat anything. We just pivot, you know, it depends on how the things are going. And I will say that the football staff has been great. Sam Pittman has been great with us ever since I've gotten here at Hogs Plus. And, you know, we try to be as transparent as we can in the stories that we tell. And that's something that I think Sam Pittman also does. You know, when he's talking to the media, he's very transparent and open about what's going on with the program, what he thinks is going wrong, what he thinks is going right. And I really value that. And so we try to do the exact same thing.
Tara, I want to ask you a basketball question and a program that's just trending in a totally other direction. What do you make about these moves and this guard play and kind of the revamp, the renew? I mean, it's a totally different team. I know you have some Devo's still there, Brazil's back. Yeah. We didn't get to see him a lot last year, but what are your initial thoughts on this basketball team?
I mean, I think everyone's pretty high on this basketball team right now. It's hard not to be when you see just how well they're playing together so early. I think that's one of the things that in the past couple of years, you know, it took some of their teams a little bit longer to click. And it seems like as of right now, what you can tell is that these guys seem like they've been playing together for a while. They have a lot of trust in each other. And you also, I feel like everyone knows their roles. Like, L. Ellis is just such a true point guard and an old school type point guard, and I love watching him play. Also, you've got, like, Kalis Battle. By the way, did y'all hear his quote the other day about Trevor in Brazil? I thought that was so funny. He was like, man, God took his time with Trevor in Brazil because not only is he a great player, but he's a great teammate as well. So it seems like those guys are gelling, and I know that Musselman is not thrilled with how they won against Old Dominion. I'm sure you guys saw some of that post-game press conference, but that's also just his style of coaching. Like, he is not going to shy away from getting in your face if he thinks he did something wrong. And it seems like those guys respond to it well. So I'm thinking that this team is going to have a pretty great season right now.
He would find things to be upset is the right word.
Oh, yeah.
Not be pleased about.
Irritated by.
Yeah, but you don't want him playing great in November. You just want him winning games. I mean, this is not where a team is going to peak. This is where you find out where maybe there might be a couple of soft spots and how to fix that and what rotations are working and everything. So it's like every November, you know what? I think I want Muss to be a little ticked off. I want that.
Yeah. Yeah, and also, I mean, I'm wondering what you guys think about the rotation, because the other night it was kind of a tight rotation, but I'm pretty sure, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think guys like Joseph Pinion and stuff are going to play factors throughout the season as well, even if they didn't see game time.
I think there's more depth on this team than last year. I agree with you, Tara. I think it could be last year. What was it? It was kind of like Jalen Graham might be the guy that if Ricky Council wasn't scoring or Anthony Black wasn't getting it going on. But I'm with you. I think I see 3 or 4 guys that could come off the bench just kind of based on matchups. They might not play every game, but if there's a matchup they can exploit, they'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. So having guys like that who you know can come off the bench and play a massive role for you is really going to be good. And so I think that's kind of what I saw the other night when I was at I think it was the Old Dominion game, and just kind of watching, like, you know, it was a closer game than they wanted, obviously, but they pulled through, and I think you can see that depth is there.
Some people maybe headed up to the Hill that had football tickets, and they're wondering whether or not they're going to go, but they probably also, some of them probably have soccer tickets, because you get the second and third round, Arkansas hosting at Razorback Field. Tomorrow they get Pitt, and then hopefully on Sunday the winner of Notre Dame and Memphis. You know, the big question, is this the year that Coach Hale gets his team to the College Cup? They've come so close a few times. Is this the year?
I mean, you sure hope so. Like, I mean, Coach Hale is one of my favorite coaches on campus. He is just a spitfire. Like, him and his team are so unique, in my opinion, and I love covering them. They've also been super successful in NCAA matches at home. I know that fans show up well for them. I think they've won like 30-plus games or something in a row at home, so I'm hoping that favors them this weekend. I will say Pitt's coming off like a 6-0 win over Ohio State, so that was kind of a daunting when I saw that. But they have the players. They're playing extremely well together. And I think that this is a team that could absolutely get to that College Cup.
So I did listen to the most recent That's the T podcast with you and Aaliyah Brooks. Had Michaela Daniels and Sasha Goforth on talking about trash talk. Tell me the concept behind That's the T and what you and Talia hope to do with this.
Yeah, so we changed it up a little bit. The first season was more of a, you know, insightful, tell us your story, sit down interviews with different women on campus. But now we've changed it a little bit to different types of topics like trash talk. And we're going to talk about NIL. And we'll talk about, you know, life after being athletes, stuff like that. And so we decided when we wanted to do the trash talk conversation, we were like, you know what, who do we get? We got to have some girls on campus that are pretty good at this. And my mind immediately went to like soccer and women's basketball because those girls are fiery. And when I talked to Michaela Daniels, she was like, yep, me and Sasha will be there. That would be great. And I got to say, I love that Sasha is back. She seems like she's doing great. She is so fun to watch out there on the court, too. So that was a really fun conversation to have with them and have them kind of open up about some of the stuff that goes on that people might not hear during the game, because there's a lot of it.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.